So you want that bloom in your highlights, or you want that halation to just appear magically in that dreamy wonderland, but you don't have the budget to buy a black ProMist filter or a CineBloom moment filter. Well, I got you. I'm gonna show you something that you can get for free in Final Cut Pro to achieve almost the same thing. Let's go. Okay, so once we have Final Cut Pro open, for the sake of this project, I'm going to open a new library, just for the sake of that. New and library, we create a library and we can call it halation test. Oh my God, spell alt. Halation test, open that and click save. Now what you want to do is go to your file and create a new project. Also we'll call this test 23.9. that's okay, and good. So now that we've already created all of that, the next thing you need to do, you need to go on ahead and bring in your clips into Final Cut Pro. Here I'll click file or just click import straight from here, and I will go on ahead and choose a clip. I'll bring in this clip. I need to do some color space override. I'm gonna go into this and change this here to Rec 709 because we're working for a Rec 709 timeline. I'll bring this back down straight into the timeline. I find that in the best case use of this effect, you want your clip to have clear highlights that the effect can work with. In this case, I have the lamp. I have two lamps actually that are the brightest parts of the image that I can work with, and that's what the effect will leverage on. Once our clip is set on the timeline, the next thing that we need to do is to grab an adjustment layer. If you work in Final Cut Pro, you know that having an adjustment layer is a lifesaver. So I'm going to go in now and grab an adjustment layer and drag that over the whole clip. The next thing you want to do is to go into the effects folder and search for the effect romantic. I don't know why it's called that, but yeah, that's what it's called. And now we'll go here into the effects folder, search for that effect, romantic. So as you do that, you drag that effect and you drop it on the adjustment layer. Once you access the parameters of this thing, you can go here. The three modes of this effect. One, you have the round blend, you have the round drop off, and you have the elliptical. I'm not gonna go into what all these things do, but in my use case, I find that round blend just gives me the right amount of halation that I want. Now, if I do that, I click that. I usually leave it somewhere around 20 to 25 in most cases. I find that that is the sweet spot that works for me. If I toggle that effect off and on, you can see what it looks like. Let's see if we zoom in 100% and we go into that spot. You see, you just get that bloom, and that's it. There you have it. You have your halation, you have your bloom. I'm going to put them side by side so that you can see one with the effect and one without the effect. You can compare yourself and see the differences. You might be asking, what is this, or who is this going to be useful for? This might be useful for anyone who's shooting weddings and they want that bloom, that dreamy effect. You might be able to achieve that with this effect if you do not necessarily have the budget to get a CineBloom or a black ProMist filter. Also, if you just want to soften your image, this effect will soften that image, especially if you're shooting on something like an iPhone where the images are like just so sharp, or even a mirrorless camera, you can soften your images with this effect. And lastly, if you just want that halation effect that these filters give to you, but you don't have access to those filters now, you can use this pending the time you get your hands on those things. For me, it works because I'm in China and a lot of these companies do not ship these products here to China. It's a hassle to get them. So this is my improv and it works for me. Let me know if you guys have found this useful, if you will be using this effect. I think a lot of people are used to Gaussian blur, which is okay, but I just came across this and I thought, hey, why not share it with the community? So let me know if you will find this effect useful, if you are going to be using this. Yep, that's gonna wrap up the video and I'll see you the next time I can see you. Take care and have a wonderful day. Yeah. Or night. Oh, by the way, I got a new podcast out east. You should check out my podcast. Remember to listen to my podcast. You should listen to my podcast. You should. Because my voice is good. It's a blessing. Listen to this. My voice. It's just so calm. Look at that. Like, you just want to listen and listen because of my voice. You can get all of that voice on the podcast. Don't forget to check out the podcast. It's in Spotify. It's an Apple Podcast. It's everywhere. Out east.